Alright everyone, this is a very last minute video. It is Tuesday afternoon, and this is going up on Wednesday, if you're watching it when it goes live, so a little bit behind on uploads, partly because I've been very addicted to playing Episode 3 Reload, and partly because, I just hadn't got around to recording stuff already, and I had no idea what to record for this, so this is going to be a lot less planned and organised, me planned and organised, a lot less organised than you'd expect, so expect more chicanery than usual. But sparked from last week's Kubera video, I do want to talk about the best possible future, Vishnu, Kali, and some of the other gods. Originally it was just going to be Vishnu, Kali, the best possible future, and then before I clicked record I was like, oh, I guess I can talk about some of the other gods as well. So yeah, this is going to be just like a very rambly video that probably won't make a lot of sense. I don't know what I'm going to put on screen for you guys to look at. It'll probably be completely unrelated images. Maybe there'll be Kubera, maybe there won't, I have no idea. Because time is short, and I need to edit this as well. Yeah, this might be a very fucked video, but it is what it is. I'm sure you'll enjoy my ramblings anyway, if that's your type of thing. Put this on in the background, don't bother looking at it. Anyway. So, the best possible future is probably, I think, the best place to start. What does it entail? What do we think it looks like? Well, we don't really know a lot. We know that Gadhava is needed for the best possible future. As for why, well, that's a very good question. I'm imagining it's partially due to his strength. He's an incredibly powerful being. And I imagine it might not just be... it's not Gadhava in the individual, it's Gadhava in the name that they need for the best possible future. Hence why it would have been Manaka had Gadhava not been Gadhava. But, you know. I'm imagining it's his power is why he's needed. Because he is an incredibly strong being. And whether the best possible future is resultant of defeating or permanently suppressing Kali, potentially perhaps killing her, if you could even kill a god. I guess they... yeah, I don't know. Can you kill a god? I don't remember. But, you know, perhaps permanently suppressing or sealing Kali indefinitely. Because it's been explained that, you know, very loosely that she was sealed and she broke said seals, which is why she was able to impersonate Vishnu to Manaka. But given that Gadhava is necessary for the best possible future, I imagine it would have been his power that is needed, not his temperament. Because, well, it's that is the exact reason why he's in a dire situation as of last time I read, which I haven't since that video last week. And then you've also got how God Kubera is involved in all of this, because before Agni spoke to Manaka in that flashback, as we saw, both him and God Kubera were against keeping Gadhava alive because of his temperament. But Agni obviously changed his tune when he found out about Manaka's situation. However, I don't think God Kubera did. Now, I'm wondering why God Kubera was also on the same thinking as Agni, because God Kubera doesn't seem like the type of person that cares particularly about human beings. Although, yes, he kind of cares for Lise, but whether that's just because she has his name or not is a very different discussion. But Agni is very clearly sympathetic to human beings. It's why he's an outlier among the gods. He actually holds them to a bit more valuable, that their individual lives mean something, given how short they are. But God Kubera doesn't seem like that to me, so I wonder why he specifically is against Gadhava being left alive, at least back then. I presume his stance is probably still the same, and I'm wondering if that's partially why he was helping. But then, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for him to be helping Sagara with bringing back Ananta for that. Or perhaps bringing back Ananta would be... can allow for the second best possible future to still not be completely ruined by Kali, because you'd have another incredibly powerful being, and so you wouldn't need Gadhava if his power is what it's needed for. Is one way of possibly looking at that. Also, if I sound tired, that's because I am. If you saw Twitter, it will have been a handful of days ago, well, it would have been 2 days ago, maybe 1 day ago. Time zones are weird. I pulled an all-nighter and I've slept for like 4 hours. I am suffering. You should go follow me on Twitter, by the way. Link in the description. But yeah, that's my thoughts on God Kubera. I think he's clearly, well, at least openly, he said he was against God Hava being alive. And I think well, he's a mysterious guy, so he might have been lying. But I'm going to take that at face value for now. That he is against God Hava's, existence, and hence why I think he was helping for the resurrection, potential resurrection, if you can even bring Ananta back, of Ananta. That's my thinking right now, at least. And then we move on to Vishnu and Kali. Vishnu, obviously, all of his plans are, his whole purpose is to bring about the best possible future. But the thing is, we've only seen Vishnu basically twice. And that is, 1, in the Asha flashback, and 2, in the Agni flashback. And the Agni flashback brought into question, as you'll have seen in my video, of the reaction, brought into question of whether the Vishnu Asha saw really was Vishnu. And the reason I think that is the temperament of Vishnu in the Agni flashback. Obviously, the Agni flashback is way, way, way before the Asha flashback in terms of chronology. It's like it's absurdly before the Asha flashback. But Vishnu's temperament is very, very different. And I've got some reasons why I think that is actually Kali, like almost definitely. Although we haven't seen Vishnu more recently, outside of that flashback. But given that Vishnu was had supposedly, vanished at that point and was gone, yeah, it's a bit suspect. Although Asha can use Hoti Vishnu, so perhaps it is really him. But again, who knows? Very sus, And yes, I'm going to play into the meme of, is someone acting sus? Might be Kali. Yeah, because I can't, in this particular case, I think it really is worth talking about. Obviously, don't spoil me if it ends up being different, but you guys in this community are really nice, and you don't do that kind of thing. So, mad respect. Yeah, right. So, Vishnu, in the Agni flashback, is very laid back. For someone that basically knows the future, he's very relaxed and not active at trying to prevent the not best possible future from occurring. And it's even openly said that the best possible future is the only good one, because as more time goes on, it will be the only one that Kali has not influenced and ruined. And yet he's really unproactive. Same with all the gods. Very, very unproactive and uninvolved in actually bringing about the best possible future. And that is partially due to the fact that they could just, as I said, just try again, reset everything, and make another universe. So this one, if the best possible future isn't possible here, well, they can just try again. They can keep trying until it works, trial and error. And yet, the Vishnu that we see in the Asha flashback is different. He is, as someone put it in the comments of one of my reactions, creepy. He's unsettling. And he's very involved. He's very active. And the framing of how he talks to Asha is very different to how he talks in the Agni flashback. Again, time could have done that, but to a god that's, existence is practically eternal, would that time really have mattered to changing them in their ethos? But the way Vishnu talks to Asha, of giving Asha the opportunity to win, to have the best possible odds of winning, and lowering Lisa's odds of winning to be the worst possible odds. If Asha winning would bring about the best possible future, then you could understand that involvement. But at the same time, the framing of it feels very, very strange, because in doing so, he's weakening God Kubera, because he's letting Asha slaughter people with Kubera's name, which is, well, I guess that isn't weakening, it's making him stronger, isn't it? I'm going, oh, actually, It might be that supporting Asha will bring about the best possible future in that regard. But again, it's the nature of it, how unnatural it feels for Vishnu to be so heavily involved in a single person. And yes, he makes it seem like, he doesn't care to an extent, but he's still very hands-on. Now, maybe less hands-on than the Vishnu we see with Manaka that is Kali, and we know is Kali. But even then, that Vishnu has this atmosphere about them that is very, very different to the Vishnu we see with Agni, who's very laid back and disinterested. The Kali Vishnu that Manaka sees is very, unsettling, forward, involved. And again, it's this deal, the proposing of a deal, That's, and, it's kind of in line with what Asha was given. You know what I'm saying? Although Asha getting, the knowledge of the future does kind of support that Vishnu that she saw was the real one, but we don't really know Kali's abilities to much of an extent. We know she is capable of destroying the universe, but we don't really know everything she's capable of. And if she's capable of distorting, the futures to such an extent that only the best possible one is remotely good, I'm wondering if she has some possible knowledge of the future, even if it's limited in, regard, because she is a primeval god, same with Vishnu, and I think, do all the gods have an understanding of the future? It's just Vishnu's is better? If so, then yeah, it kind of brings that up. Yeah, this is mainly a theory of me just blabbling on about Asha's Vishnu being Kali. But I think it's got some plausibility. Although, there again, as I've mentioned as I was talking, there are some holes here and there that, because there's stuff that I don't know, is Asha's success in whatever, winning whatever, beneficial for the best possible future, or is it just fun? Because if it's just for the sake of it, that wouldn't be that doesn't seem like something that the Vishnu we saw with Agni would do. It seems too, involved, as I said. He seems way too interested and invested in something that, the actions of humans wouldn't interest someone that was like, oh, we can make another universe if we need to. That's just my stance on that. I think that the way the Vishnu that with Asha acts is just unnatural in comparison to the way we see the Vishnu act, especially when compared with how we see Kali's Vishnu act with Manaka. It's just something doesn't quite connect. This is awful. I'm sorry this is such a nonsense video. But yeah, those are kind of some loose ideas. If you can poke holes in what I've said or any of the things I've come up with using stuff that I've seen, nothing from ahead of where I am, please. But again, you guys know what to do. That'd be really cool. I'd love you to do that, and just to pick my brain and keep me thinking. That'd be very nice. But yeah, so I think we'll leave that there. This has been a very weird video. I'll attempt to not do such an unplanned, unprepped video like this in the future. And if there's any other gods you want my thoughts on, I guess, if I have any real ones like a Brahma, is probably one to think upon a bit more. Let me know in the comments. Like, as well, dropping a sub if you haven't already, notification bell. And with that out of the way, I've been Animosity, you've been you, and I hope to catch you all next time for another video. Ta-ta. For now.